Something needs to change, and it has to start with me. Let's just jump right into it. Yo, I'm fat, and I'm saying this out loud. I'm fat. I'm overweight, I'm out of shape, and this stops today. Too many variables are starting to intersect at the same crossroads now. And if I don't do something now, I might get to the point where I might not ever be able to do something. Let's talk about this. When's the last time we sat down and had a heart-to-heart? I don't know, but today is going to be that day. This is more for me to me, but I realized something when I was having this realization that I'm not the only one who feels this way, and I have people to reference now to realize that it is a universal feeling what I'm going through. And now I'm seeing so many different people make the same change that I need to make. And if they can do it, I can do it. See, what's really crazy and what's fucking with my mind is that I wasn't always not disciplined. That's the crazy part. I have always been disciplined. And in certain aspects of my life, I maintained that discipline. But when it came to self-care and self-love, I lost that along the way. And I've gone so long without that self-care and that self-love that I accepted this as the norm. And it's not the norm. It's not my normal, and it shouldn't be normal. 15 years ago, I did one of the most challenging things an 18-year-old probably could do. I joined the Marine Corps. Not the Navy, not the Army, not the Air Force. Sorry, guys, if you're in those branches, but you know. That took discipline. I put my body and my mind and my soul, everything to the test for 3 months. And then for 4 years to go on through that contract. That was one of the hardest chapters of my life, but it was also one of the most rewarding chapters that I hold on to this very day. Now, a lot of people who watch this channel, who watch me, probably don't know all that. You might know, but most of you don't. And if you're coming across this for the first time, how would you know? But I took my mental and physical discipline seriously back then. And somehow it just, life happened. Now, I'm sure there's a lot of psychological aspects to this that we can dig into that has to do with ease of convenience and instant gratification and stuff like that. And there are challenges and realizations I've made to that conclusion, but nothing's changed. It's one thing to be self-aware of what your problem is, but it's another to not have the fucking discipline to see it through. I think I'm getting so worked up about this because I know who I am on the inside, but it does not reflect what I show on the outside. Those two have been disconnected for too long. Recently, I started going to the doctor and getting some help, both physically, mentally, and I have more medication prescribed to me now than I probably ever have, ever. And it all started clicking because no one should have to live like that. And what the fucked up part about it is I still would not have cared. But you see, now that Sage has been born, I have a son that's going to look up to me. And if I wasn't going to get right for me, because at some point I stopped caring about myself, I have to do it for him. What example am I setting if I just continue not trying, starting with myself? How am I supposed to help anybody else if I can't help myself? So I'm changing that. I already started changing what I'm eating, and now we're going to change my activities. So enough with the self-intervention. I've already had this conversation with myself internally. I'm just documenting it for you. Let me talk about what all this is about to become. I see so many ads or social media influencers who are the final product of something when it comes to getting healthier. And they're like, follow me and do as I do. And for me, evidently, that shit does not work. I realize what motivates me isn't looking at the final product because so much of stuff that's online isn't real anyway. I don't know if I can actually believe it. I think there's a disconnect there. What motivates me is the same thing that motivated me 15 years ago when I was at boot camp. Drill instructors in my face yelling at me and yelling at the recruits to the left and right of me, push harder, go, run, run. And watching all these out of shape fat fucks get healthy in live time. It didn't happen overnight. It happened over the course of 3 months. What motivates me is seeing the before image turn into and transform into the after image. But I've seen enough time lapse of somebody who spent 365 days to do this thing, and it's inspiring for those 5 minutes. But for me, it's not a lifestyle change for whatever reason. So it just so happens, because I'm in the Apple ecosystem and I have an iPhone, I also have a 90-day free trial with Apple Fitness Plus. So starting now, I am activating this free trial, and I'm gonna spend another 3 months of my life getting mentally and physically in shape again. And this time with the discipline of an adult who's in his 30s to maintain this lifestyle. I don't ever wanna go back to what that was before. And unlike taking out a gym membership or what have you, what's gonna motivate me to get through this and see this through is that I don't want to pay for the subscription. I'm gonna use the 90 days free to change my lifestyle. Now, I don't expect to be able to fit into my Marine Corps uniforms again. I'm pretty sure those days are done. I'm not trying to get thin or lean or even bulky. I'm just trying to get healthy. And I know by getting healthy, a byproduct of that is I'm going to lose the weight. So the goal is to get healthy, not to get thinner, if that makes sense. And a little bonus incentive about how we're gonna get through this is I'm going to document this daily for 90 days. Yes, uploads might be same day, it might be the following day. I haven't really figured out yet, and that's part of this whole me kind of vlogging, even though it's not a vlog. I am documenting this in live time as a journal for me first. But I am also very aware that other people have told me when I had talked about this on my podcast that this would inspire them too. So shit, if not for me, definitely for my son one day. I'm also gonna do it for those of you who need it today. A lot of this lack of self-control is a choice, and I'm owning mine, and I'm also gonna change it. I have to, because if I don't, in less doctor words, I was basically told I'm killing myself. Not in the, oh, you're gonna probably cut a few years off of your life, or not in the like, you wanna live longer if you have I am literally killing myself. I had blood work done. I have so many medications to control this shit. I'm not diabetic, interestingly enough. I'm not there, thank God. But there's other connecting issues now resulting from this. I have an issue that stems from another issue that stems from this issue that has to do with being overweight and not eating healthier. I'm killing myself slowly, but painfully. And the fucked up part is that I still don't care because I'm in this form now, but I care about my son way more than I'll ever care about myself. And maybe if I can get through this, I can care for myself again too, because I would have beaten these things happening in my head that's also happening on the outside of my body. Maybe I can learn self-love again. So what's gonna happen is I'm going to document daily and post daily. They might be in the form of shorts. They might be YouTube videos like this that are just shortened. But however we get there, and we're gonna refine it over the next 90 days, we are gonna get there. And we're gonna turn this channel, much like myself, into a well-oiled working machine again. Because the problem is, and the truth is, I'm actually extremely competitive. I'm so competitive, I chose to join the Marine Corps out of pride first. I was selfish about it. Yes, I wanted to serve my country at a time where Osama bin Laden was still alive. Yes, all that is true. But before all that, to get to that point, I was so prideful that I had to see it through. And nothing, God himself could not have came down and said, you're not going to do this. And that was going to stop me. You could do so much in your life if you really set your mind for it. And I'm going to fucking prove it. I'm going to prove it here. And I'm going to prove it to myself. I don't give a shit about the YouTube channel. I'm going to be straight up with you. I don't give a fuck about this, which is why it's going to be raw and it's probably going to be inconsistent with how it's posted, shorts or video. I don't care. I'm doing this for me. I'm vlogging it for me. I'm documenting it for me. If anything else, the 1 minute or whatever, however long these videos get, starting now, going forward, is to just show my son. One day, look at these photos when you're first born. Look how out of shape and how fat I was. Let me show you how I got to this. I care more about that than anything else. So if you want to join me on this journey, just start. We'll do it together. And if you're watching this long after this video has been posted, it's not too late. I'm 33 years old and I'm going to be living proof it's never too late. Start. I will see you back here tomorrow. We will go over game plans and how everything's going to happen going forward, but I will see you back here tomorrow. It's time to get right, people, because that's not okay. We're going to change it. I'm going to change it. I'm done playing around. I'm done fucking around.